Hi guys, welcome back. In this lecture, we want to do a little bit of refactoring because yes, the code that we have written is working fine, but I think we could clean up the code a little bit so that it will be easy for us to develop in future. So over here, I see that we have a dispatch queue over here, which is to simulate a delay. This is okay by itself, but I think we can refactor this into a helper method. Over here, as you can see, we have quotes. We have this main inside this string code over here. So technically, I would rather not have any string that's within quotes because it's easy to make mistakes, spelling mistakes, and it can potentially create bugs. Over here as well, we do have this string code here that says main tab bar controller, as well as this show onboarding over here. So I would love to put this probably in a constant file so that it's easy for us to reference in other parts of our app. All right, so let's come over here under the travel folder and let's create a new group. And over here, I'm going to rename this as helper method. I'm going to rename this as helper. And within this folder, I'm going to right click and create a new file, and we'll be creating a new Swift file. All right, so I'm just going to call this file helper.swift. And over here, I'm going to create a function and I'm going to call it delay. All right, and this delay function is a global function. So as you can see over here, this is not wrapped in a class or a strut, but it's just out in the open. And what that means is that at any part of your app, every part of your app is able to call this delay function without referencing some form of class. All right, so in the parameters of the delay function, I'm going to put in duration in seconds, and I'm going to make this of type double. All right, and also over here, I'm going to put in a completion block, and it's going to look like this. It's going to be an empty completion block. All right, so as you can see over here, I have this dispatch queue.main.async after, and I'm going to sort of wrap this within this delay function. And the way I'm going to do it, let me just quickly paste this here so that we have some reference over here. So you see over here, I'm going to do dispatch queue.main.async after. So now instead of hard coding a 2 seconds, I'm going to do dot now plus the duration in seconds. All right, maybe I'll just do it this way instead, seconds. All right, so this will just be a label. So now plus seconds, and within the execute itself, I'm just going to pass in the completion. Okay, so I'm just going to remove these two things over here, these two lines over here, and this should be good to go. Okay, let's go back to the previous file, and under this view did appear method, instead of typing in dispatch queue.main, I can simply type delay. Okay, let me save this first by hitting the command S and command B to build the project. Alright, so it already tells me that we have a small problem over here, and I think we forget to put in the escaping closure. Alright, so let's hit the fix button, and it just adds in this escaping keyword over here. Alright, now that this is done, we can actually do delay over here. So this is the function that we have just written. And over here it says duration in seconds. So right now we can just put in 2.0 because this is we want to delay this for 2 seconds, and I'm just going to hit the enter button, and I'll just paste this in here. So in other parts of the app, if we want to create some kind of delay, we don't have to type in the entire dispatch queue.main.async after and put in all these parameters over here. We just have to type in delay and then put in the number of seconds that we want. Maybe let's say it's 3 seconds, and then we can just put in our code over here, which will be executed after the number of seconds that we put in this duration in seconds parameter. All right, I hope that is clear. So I'm just gonna keep this, and over here under this main tab bar over here where we put this main keyword over here. Ideally, I don't want to have any string over here. So what I'm going to do is to create a constant file over here, and I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it constant. Oh, sorry, it's going to be a Swift file, and I'm going to rename this file as constants. All right, with an S, hit the create button, and it's going to create a constant file over here. And I'm going to do a strut over here, and I'm going to say maybe K. All right, so that is one of the convention that some developers use. So we're going to do a strut, all right, segue, and then I'm going to type in static let show onboarding screen equals to this one over here, which is show onboarding screen. All right, let's create the segue one first. Show onboarding screen. Okay, whoops, let's go back to constant, and let's paste this right in here. Okay, so the way we're going to reference this segue identifier is to type in, let's go back to the loading view controller. Instead of putting in the string codes over here, all I have to do is to type in k dot segue dot show onboarding screen. All right, so if I want to make any changes, instead of modifying this parameter over here, I just have to change it right over here under the this strut k file. Okay, so let's go back over here, and then we see that we do have this main dot storyboard, which we put the code main over here. So we can do the same. Let's go back to constants, and then we can say strut, and let's call it storyboard ID. All right, and we do static let main equals to main. Okay, and the same thing we want to do as well, static let main tab bar controller equals to main tab bar controller. All right, okay, I think we can just keep this small letter m. Okay, and let's go back over here. So same thing as well, instead of typing in the main word here, we can do k dot storyboard ID dot main. All right, same thing over here, we can do k dot storyboard ID dot main tab bar controller. All right, so I think this looks a lot better, a lot more professional. Definitely the right way to do it if you are working on a production app. And I'm going to remove these two comments because we don't need them anymore. Okay, I'm also going to remove those spaces that we don't need over here so that it looks nice and clean. And yeah, I think it looks good to me so far. All right, and I think the last thing is that we don't really need the background color as well, because we have integrated successfully already. So I'm going to remove the setup views method over here and remove it from the view did load. All right, I think let's just quickly run this project, and I think this should be good. Let's have a look at the simulator. All right, it's going to load for 2 seconds, and then it's going to show us the main tab bar. Same thing as well, if I go to the false, if I set is user logged into false, I should see the onboarding page. All right, okay guys, this is all I have for you in this video. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next one.